Hello and a very warm welcome to Money Talks again with me, George Pitcher of IB Times UK, and Edmund Shing of BCS Asset Management and the Idle Investor website. Welcome again,
Thank
Ed.
you, George.
Now the stock market has gone bonkers, hasn't it? I mean, it's never been. We've got the FTSE 100, which is gets all the attention because all the big famous companies are in there and so on.
Yeah.
Pushing its all-time record high. But I think you're going to tell us that it's the second division that we should be looking at.
Exactly. Everyone focuses on the so-called Premier League, the FTSE 100, the biggest 100 companies. And as you say, just under 7,000 points. It's up there it's just about back at where it was in early 2000 at the height of the dot-com bubble. So people get all excited about it, write all the articles. But actually, I don't care. Because that's not where you should be looking. Yeah. My point is this, that if you look at, as you say, the second division, the FTSE 250, which are the companies just below the 100.
The championship.
The championship, yeah, exactly. Think of the N-Power Championship. Yeah. Let's think of it that way. In fact, if you'd invested in those at the beginning of 2000, you'd have earned, your 100 quid back then would have turned into over £400 today, whereas in a FTSE 100 back then, put 100 quid in 2000, only 170 quid today. Massive difference.
Is it a bit harder to find out about these companies for the average investor? I mean, because there's so much written about the FTSE 100. I mean, I expect you're telling us what we should be investing in the championship.
Well, of course I am, George. I mean, you've got 250 companies to choose from. They're actually all quite liquid. Some of them are actually very well known. I mean, let's think of easyJet, for instance, as one obvious company that's in the FTSE 250. Everyone uses, everyone has heard of. And so that is one of the 5 tips I've put in this week's column.
Looking more broadly at things that are hitting highs, the good old British pound isn't doing too badly against the euro, is it?
Fantastic.
What are the implications of that, Ed?
Well, the implications are go on holiday to Europe this year, obviously. But I mean, seriously, if you're thinking about going on holiday to Spain or Portugal or even Greece and taking advantage of maybe very attractive package deals, you know, you've got the pound sitting at €1.36 at the moment. Now is the time to go to cash in. I think get your money in. I said this before, I'll say it again. I think we can go to €1.40 for the pound, but I think it's a pretty good level where we are now.
So a couple of beers in Paris aren't costing us 60 quid.
Quite as much. Although I'd say Paris is, I mean, I live in Paris, George.
I know.
It's still a pretty blooming expensive place, let me tell you. They love to fleece the tourists there. So go for Spain, Portugal or Greece right now instead.
I will. But, well, Greece. There's the thing. I mean, it's all very worrying, isn't it? If there's a Greek exit, isn't there a danger that could bring down the whole house of cards, though? And then we've really got a European currency crisis, haven't we?
Well, exactly, George. But that's exactly why I don't think it's going to happen. Because it's not in the interests of the rest of the European Union or the European Central Bank or the International Monetary Fund, who are the main creditors to Greece. It's in none of their interests to push Greece too far and to push them out of the euro. It's actually much cheaper to come to an agreement with Greece and maybe just swallow some pride. Let's face it, George, Greece should never have been in the Eurozone in the first place, but it is. And now comes the bill. So I'm afraid the rest of the Eurozone will just have to swallow it and pay some of that bill progressively over time.
And here's another thing. We married couples have got a tax break to take advantage of, haven't we, at the moment?
Well, yes, sort of. Now, this is the point. If you have one of the married couple, either the husband or the wife, who does not work and does not earn an income, from now the inland revenue will allow you to transfer part of your unused personal allowance to your salary earning husband or wife. In other words, and that should save up to £200 per year extra. So that is worth doing. You need to register on the HMRC website to get information, but it's coming soon in May. So get on with it.
And with some of that money saved, have a look at the FTSE 250, eh?
Exactly. Get those 200 odd quid and stick it in easyJet, Barclay Group, Lancashire, or any of the others I mentioned in the column.
And then let's get down to the Mediterranean and windsurfing or something, or paddleboarding or something. Thank you very much, Ed. And thank you for watching Money Talks. And I'll look forward to Ed's tips next time, as I'm sure you will too. Bye-bye for now.